So just to start, would you possibly be able to introduce yourself for our listeners who maybe aren't familiar with your work?
So my name is Bianca Saunders. I'm a Royal College of Art graduate of 2017 and I studied menswear design and I'm a menswear designer.
And you've recently been at Pitti showing at 5 Creators, One Space.
Yes.
Do you want to tell me a little bit about the project?
So Harris earlier invited me to be a part of the space. Mm-hmm. So he works with T. Michael, who's designer for Norwegian Rain, but as a tailor for his own brand, T. Michael. And it was like 9 designers. So all the creators picked 2 designers that they thought will be good for the space. So it was Harris picked me and Labrin. I had an installation where I had one mannequin and I showed some of the trousers laid. It was really interesting because like Pitti's like you have a lot of, as they call them, peacocks. So people come and like they dress up like full like suited and booted like suits and like the hats and like they even have like matching kids as well too. It's so funny. Yeah.
I'm interested. I've never been to Pitti and so I'm always interested to know who the kind of people are who go.
Yeah, there's a lot of fashionistas go. So like because it's a thing that you can buy a ticket and actually go to the exhibition and like see all the different designers and the brands and stuff like that, which is interesting. But it's like a massive like fair, which is so they have like different buildings. So some companies actually build their own space for it. So it's like really intense compared to like something like Jacket Required or like London Fashion Week where you have people stand outside and get their pictures taken. Yeah. Like it's more like a lot of like men with their tailored suits and their little fur jackets and sunglasses and like the hat. Was really interesting though, like to see a different side of things in a way. But
I'm interested as well because that to me is quite a contradiction from what you show.
What I do is quite contemporary compared to majority of the designers because most of it's like Italian like style. But I think like some parts I saw that kind of relate to myself is like like when I chose to what piece I chose to bring there was like the tailoring. So I brought like the tailor jacket that I have from my last collection and like the actual full outfit. So like mixing the casual with the tailoring to kind of show like it relation into like the actual space in itself. So like majority of the designers around me were like either I guess workwear or tailoring or some so it was just me trying to pick what part of my collection that relates to the actual fair.
So can you tell me a little bit more about the space? I'd be interested to hear what the atmosphere was like, what it actually looked like.
So like it was a bit away from the I guess intensity of the main space. So we was in a building that was upstairs. It was advertised with like 5 creators, 1 space, and like people were directed to where. So I sent like people that I know emails to come see me. Those kind of things. And then it was a bit more quieter because some of them you just get like I guess a lot more fashionistas coming in, where it was like more buyers that came in or like magazine writers or people like pattern cutters came, which I got introduced to.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so that's what I really wanted to get out of the trip, was just meet the more like manufacturing side of things. And
is that what you're looking for currently?
Oh yeah. So I'm working on that at the moment. That side is like one of the things that you don't really get taught in uni. So it's like I'm doing a lot of background work and like doing my research and exactly how to work this out and get this actually up and running.
How do you feel your time in Pitti influenced what you're looking to do next?
Not sure if it like 100% influenced me, but I think actually no, it did, because to be fair, like the quality that people had is like amazing. So like quality control for me is a big thing. So working with the right like factories and like having the best fabrics is something I really would like to do. I guess it's a little bit harder for like new brands to kind of have like the best fabrics because
of course,
those kind of financial problems. That's something I would really like my brand to have, that's that kind of quality. But even in the collection I do have, like the jacket is cashmere and like working with Riri zips and that kind of stuff.
So would you say that something that Pitti does particularly strongly is show quality?
Yes, they definitely do. I think it was quite nice having like just a still stands. People can actually just come up and feel it. It is almost like a showroom, but it's not really like a showroom. It's more like a showcase. But it's nice when people can actually see what you've made up close and just feel it, because it's so different from it, like being like a walking catwalk where
Yeah, of course.
where it's like it's moved so fastly, or when it's a presentation it's a bit intense, you don't really want to
kind of touch the garments.
Yeah, especially because like a model's wearing it,
Yeah.
so sometimes it can be a little bit awkward, but it's nice to be able to speak, or from the outside it must be nice to be able to speak to the designer, because you get to know the brand more than what you just see walking.
And you were able to explain a little bit to people what you're thinking when you're doing that?
Oh yeah, definitely. It was definitely really like good practice, like being there, explaining what I do and brand and like how it works, because like what I do is like different from most work Pitti, I guess.
No, I would say so too. I'm also interested because obviously your brand is it has this quite political undercurrent.
Yeah.
So is that something that you were speaking about a bit in Pitti? I could imagine that might have been an interesting topic to bring up.
A lot of people was like, oh, it looks quite feminine, or oh gosh, a really annoying comment was about it looking theatrical, which I don't think it is. I think it's quite wearable. So, because like, I guess men there are kind of used to like obvious menswear.
Yeah, sure.
So like, it was more the conversation about like masculinity and femininity.
And is that a conversation you think you're used to in London?
People do ask me those questions. I think and like always the same question again, like how old are you? And because I am young, but I look younger than I am. Or like, how did you get here, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like, I was the only woman in the space as well too. So like, why menswear? Like those kind of questions kind of relate to like the idea I was speaking about in my collection about masculinity and those kind of like tropes and stuff like that, and trying to kind of create like a borderline with the collection.
Do you have ready-made answers now? Are you prepared for those questions?
Yeah. People always, I always get like the same 5 questions like all the time. Like, why menswear? You're really young. Like those kind of questions. What do you do? Like, why? Like, why fashion? Like, it's always the same question. So like, I've kind of gotten used to like answering them now, but it's just a good thing because it's always good to be prepared. You should always know why you're doing something, I think. Of course.
So why fashion?
What
do you answer?
I think it's just something I enjoy because it's like a combination of everything. Like, I've always enjoyed making and creating, like, and the research process as well too. So like, for me, having my own brand works better that way. Because I get to just do my own thing, and the way I work as well too is very individual. Like, it's very singular. Like, for a company, you can't do certain things. You might be doing CAD drawings all day. And like, I like the mixture of doing one thing one day and doing the other thing the next day.
What I find so interesting about your work, I've actually have a copy of your zine, but it's so heavily research orientated.
Yeah, I really enjoy the research. I kind of go like with the zine thing. I thought it was really important to make a zine because I was like, I did so much of it. Like, it's such a shame just not to show it. And like, people to see the background work as well too. And I guess being the artist as well too, it makes you think a lot more because it was MA. You have more time to like think about exactly what you're doing and have a reason why you're doing it.
Do you every single time do you think of a purpose and a reason before you start designing?
Most of the time I do. I think that's what gets me the most excited about designing as well. Yeah, I would say so.
All right, thank you so much for speaking to me today, Bianca.
Thank you. It's been fun.
Thank you. Speak to you soon. Bye.
Bye.